we're guided by this energy of, I thought I already handled that. I thought I was past that. I grew past that. And it can almost be the enemy that is hiding in plain sight. And when you really step back from it, actually applying a solution feels like it's a complete alien in your knowledge base. But this week, we're going to confront that. Beautiful astrology soulmates, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for the week of February 12th. This is an interesting week. We're getting in right away. We are going to have confrontation with the energy of Pluto, which means that something has been going on. It's been here and you've just not been able to fully put a solution to it, but something in you also knows that there is a need for change. I have got to get a handle on this. I have got to break up with my addiction to sugar. I have got to get my finances handled. I have got to stop sabotaging my relationships. Whatever it is, as Mars and Venus come into contact with Pluto that is now in the vibration of Aquarius, we are going to be making some really big changes. So something I want you to keep in mind, and I loved this. I was watching the Pluto and Aquarius video from Lori Lathan at Lunatic Astrology, and she talks about how, more often than not, with Pluto in Aquarius in this vibration, we're going to know more about aliens and things like that, and the floating cars from the Jetsons, which, yes, please, I would like one. But it made me think about how we're not so surprised that there are aliens. Pluto and Aquarius, you're going to tell us something we already knew was there. So nobody was surprised when they were like, yes, aliens are real. We're like, we know, okay? But it's more like when I apply that to our own lives and we're looking for a solution to what's been going on, it's like, well, yeah, the answer's been here the whole time, and something in me wasn't ready to die off, or my ego wasn't ready to put it down yet and stop saying, I'll figure it out, and let a new concept come into being, a new solution. And that's very much so the vibration I was thinking of with this alien life that may also be coming into notable reality for us this week as we have this interaction. So if we haven't met before, I'm practicing professional astrologer, Stormie Grace. I'm an evolutionary and a humanistic astrologer. So if you are interested in Western tropical astrology along those lines and learning the language of astrology, I would love for you to hang out here with us and join the Soulmate Family Tribe. Now, also, I would love to see you in class. If you know your planet signs, houses, and aspects, you've got those under your belt, but you're not quite sure how to put a chart together, I would love to see you in my Knowledge to Fluency class that is coming up in March. We'll be together live for 6 weeks, which means that not only are we going to be synthesizing charts and increasing your astrological fluency, but you will have access to me live. You could ask questions right then and there. I'll give you feedback on your interpretation skills and guide you if you need a little correcting, and give you a big old high five if you're kicking butt and taking names. So sign up in the description box down below. And while you're in the description box down there, my friends, because I want to make sure I'm helping you. I want to help you really make the astrology real. So I've put together a new playlist for you, and it's called the Pluto playlist. Okay, pretty specific, right? So you can go down there and start with all things Pluto. First of all, what is Pluto in the chart? Where is Pluto in the sky? Where are you in terms of your lessons in your Pluto generation? I covered that with Patricia Walsh. Dustin Cormier and I did Pluto in Aquarius. So go back, put on the Pluto playlist in the background while you're folding your laundry or having your snack, and just enjoy learning about Pluto. All right, beautiful friends, let's go. Let's get into this week. Now, remember, there's also timestamps in the description box down below for each day if you'd like to follow along. Okay, so first of all, here on Monday, as we're coming in on Monday, we're coming in with the moon still in that vibration of Pisces. So the entry into Monday is still very dreamy. Okay, we're still in that Neptunian, Jupiterian kind of vibration. We're looking at, are my boundaries? Where are my boundaries? Do I need to have a little bit more of a quiet Monday as I'm coming in? I need to have a little bit more alone time. sitting longer in that prayer and meditation? What is it that you need to do to feel like you are whole and assimilated? And also, Pisces being a mutable energy, I would ask you to consider as you're coming into Monday, what, if anything, is still sticking to you from the weekend? Did you have a powerful conversation? Because Pisces energy is like spiritual Velcro, right? And sometimes this is great because you're inspired and you're walking around with your I love art, Velcro that has been stuck to you. And other times it's resentment. It's like, she said this and I should have said this. Or my favorite is I'm playing out a conversation that I have to have and I've already done all of the parts. I've set the scene, right? So consider this from the inside out. Where are you? Have you culminated and let the weekend go and you're able and ready to be present into Monday? So that's something to consider. Then we'll have some void of course time so you can actually let that poo go, okay, before we have the moon transition into the vibration of Aries. Now, in the fullness of the day on Monday, we're going to have the moon, which is the lunar land, our insides, but also the people around us. The moon governs the people in mundane astrology, okay? So now it's in Aries. So first of all, we've got a fire moon. So there's a little get up and go. There's a little chutzpah, a little spicy that is on, but it is an energy on Monday that you may feel like I'm ready to take action. What do I need to do? Where do I need to finish some projects? Do I need to course correct in some way? Questions of, have I been really selfish here? These are great questions to evaluate as the moon is traveling through the Aries vibration. Now, I'm always a big fan of thinking about where these signs are also going to play into your body. And Aries being ruled by Mars is going to be a sign on Monday where you can consider things about inflammation. Now, if you need to be looking at content or you need to be looking at creators or education about anti-inflammatory diets or things like that, I absolutely encourage you to do it. As Pluto is traveling in Aquarius, we are all looking for our new tribe. We want to be our most authentic selves, but in order to do that, we have to have the right groupings and societies to help us bring that about. So maybe right now you're part of a bunch of people who eat a lot of cake. I don't know, let's just say cake because that has sugar and that brings inflammation. But you need to be a part of the tribe of people who eat a lot of basil so that you have anti-inflammatory qualities coming in. But take this to heart and be serious about what you're considering, because you want to take the action and the effort, especially with the North Node in Aries, to ask your heart and ask your insides what it needs in order for you to move forward, okay? Now, when we get to the end of the day, we've got the moon traveling through Aries all day long, but then the ruling planet to Aries as we get into the late evening, early morning on Monday, Tuesday, so depending on where you live. Anyways, Mars is going to move into the vibration of Aquarius. Okay, so first of all, Mars being our planet of action, of movement, of go, our desires, our direction, okay? Mars wants to focus on one thing. When you think about the symbology in how we write Mars, we've got the little circle, and we've got the arrow, and the arrow is pointing in one direction, right? So when you see this symbology, you know that the message or that the language it's speaking to you is, I need to focus here. I want to go here. I desire this. That's the conversation, right? Now we've got our action planet in a double sign. In Aquarius, and air moves like this. It's not ever going in just one direction, or it's very hard to get a double sign to go in one direction. So the first thing we want to bring into the knowledge base is that Mars in Aquarius can actually, depending on who you are, feel kind of uncomfortable in the body, because what we have to do is focus in groups, focus in collaboration, but it's not just going to be me going at the thing I want, right? So again, though, I think this is really supportive energy here on Monday where it's like, okay, well, I want to be me. I desire this. I desire anti-inflammatory food. I need to be aligned with the people who are going to be able to help me to do that. So if you take this transit of Mars moving through Aquarius all the way until March 22nd, and use it in a collaborative way. Where can we get things done? Where am I creating the fellowship that I seek? If you want a special group, create it if you haven't been able to find one, right? This is a great use of that Mars in Aquarius. But we're also going to see that Mars is getting ready to very quickly to come into a nice tight conjunction with Pluto. So I want you to just start taking note here on Tuesday, late Monday, Tuesday, what's coming up for you in terms of your desire, or what even in your life is starting to feel like there's a little bit of inflammation, and you're going to have to explore some different solutions in order to solve your challenge. Now, before we do that, though, we've got Venus clicking into this beautiful sextile with Neptune. Now, the sextile creates a pocket of opportunity, but we intelligently take action to go to it, okay? So it's not like the trine where, yes, there's a pocket of opportunity, but you have to go hustle and find it. No, the opportunity is here. Just take the action and you can step forward to it. Now, I love Venus and Neptune together. I love them together. I call them the Bopsy twins because they're so good, right? They're both very ethereal. They want everything to just be nice and pleasant, and it's like this, so when you're feeling it and you're feeling the words of Neptune and Venus, it's like this, okay? So there's a lot of sensuality, there's a lot of charity that's in the air and in the vibe, there's romance that's in the vibration here. So this is actually a really great energy to do anything aesthetic that you might need to do that is really also very soothing to your soul. Do you need to go shopping, right? Do you need to go shopping for your anti-inflammatory diet? Right? But there's also this center of spiritual connection that becomes available under this energy. So, one of the biggest things is compassion. I just keep thinking compassion. Where are you able to place compassion for yourselves, compassion for your ancestors and the stories that they have passed down to you that you are currently living in, realizing that they gave you the best of what they had, really, truly, even if you think it's a whole pile of garbage. People change because of people. So they left you with what they had, and it was the best that they had to give. So where is that level of compassion being illuminated here? And then where in bringing that can you extend that into others? That's going to be, this is a fantastic transit to be considering that. I'm looking at other things that are in here too. I think it's a great transit for all things Neptunian, going to see a play. If people I still go see plays. So go see a play or watch a film. I like K-dramas. I'm also into Thai dramas these days. So, go see something like that. Go in a place where there's just a little bit of romance that gets you into the creative side and drops you from the head into the creative heart. Because as we're going to confront the challenges that we need to make this week, we want to work from the heart-centeredness and come back to it, reground, remember the compassion of Pluto is in Aquarius. Absolutely none of us still alive today who are mortal, I'll leave that right there, have experienced this before, except for the short trip that we had in 2023. So the solutions that you're going to get here, the way that you need to be loved unselfishly and compassionately to solve issues that have been holding you back, the way that you don't need people to speak, do it better into your fear, that you actually need the luxury of being held. This is some of that energy. And as we breathe that in ourselves and learn to accept the charity and compassion and receiving of others, then we are able to pass it out. So this energy comes on really very strong here on Tuesday. Now, again, we've got Mars coming in very late in the day on Tuesday, rocking into Wednesday morning, of course, depending on where you live. And this is where we're going to see Mars and Pluto come into a conjunction with one another. Okay, this conjunction is incredibly powerful. It is incredibly powerful because, first of all, what it is intensity. It is intensity, okay? So Pluto is ready to go to hell and back because it wants what is at the root. It's like something here has to die off so that something else can live. Now, when I say that, no fear, we don't do fear-based astrology here. This can also be that, you've got a blessing coming. You are stepping into your VIP energy, like own your mastery, take your place as that expert, take your place of leadership in your home, in your own heart, whatever it is. But that usually is accompanied by a fair amount of a pain point. I'm afraid to do this. I'm afraid to put that out there. What will people think of me, right? What will the groupings of people think of me, right? This is Aquarius energy, absolutely. So as we're watching Mars and Pluto come together in the heat of all of that, then we've got action at the Mars point, right? And so as these two come together, what you can find is, first of all, the intensity of being driven to go towards something, but the something is the confrontation. And I think that the intensity here is going to light up for each of us where there is this and has been this internal power struggle, and you just like you weren't there. You weren't there. The world wasn't there. You weren't ready to solve and to handle this thing yet, but you know that it is here, right? You've been able to see it, this little alien. You're like, the solution is alien to me. I don't know how to do it. So it's the enemy that's hiding right in the open. I'm having problems with my addiction to sugar. I'm having problems with any other addiction. I am struggling with my relationships, with my finances, and it must be confronted and solved this week, right? So we have this space where, the power dynamic that thing, which usually the pain point is also in the subconscious mind. What has been happening here? But Pluto reveals deep insights. It goes way beyond what we know about traditional psychological awareness. And it may just be that you're moving beyond what you know, because, this is the place where we go, I thought I already solved that. I thought I already handled that. I didn't realize my childhood created that. You know what I mean? And it's like you feel like you're 60 years old. You're like, I thought I did that already. But now we're into this subconscious space where you haven't been able to get or apply a solution to something that has been stuck. You've got some old behavior patterns. You've got some old belief structures that are not going to work out anymore. But here, the intensity of Mars with Pluto gives you the courage, gives you the focus, gives you the energy to have a renewal by going to what may be your alien solution. And the changes can feel in your body. This is an air energy as well. The changes in your mind, the changes. Have you guys ever had a change that is so intense to your ego that it's like painful, right? Because you have this idea that the ego is just like this thing that it is just spinning out here. But when you are having an ego death, it can be painful. But what it does as we encounter this and we are aligned with the right kind of groups to support us to encounter this is that not only is the pain point revealed, we understand why it's there, but then we ultimately have a pathway just paved for us to walk forward, even if it's a solution that feels alien to each one of us. And again, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen Lunatic Astrology's video about Pluto in Aquarius. So I encourage you to, first of all, whatever the intensity that is coming up for you, to know that there is a hidden truth in there. You have not arrived at this pain point and the awareness of it on accident. There is a greater truth. There is a greater understanding there. And it's even better if you are willing to find a solution and if you're not going into the deep terrain of who you are by yourself. But make no doubt, this is your phoenix rising from the ashes moment. Now, Wednesday the 14th, I'm going to say it. I don't care if it's Hallmark. If you've been on this channel with me for a while, you know it. Valentine's Day is one of my favorite days of the year. I love it. I love the commercialism around it. I love the romance. I love the flowers. I don't like chocolate, but I like everything else. So from me to you, regardless of how you feel about it, I just want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day because I think it's just a beautiful commercial holiday and I love it. Now, to welcome that in, though, we're going to have a void, of course, moon, so we can all just baste in the glory of Stormie's love for Valentine's Day and showering that in little sprinkles on you, my beautiful soulmate friends. Now, after that, though, we're going to take a little bit more of that delicious energy when the moon moves into Taurus. Okay. So now we're moving from this cardinal energy of Aries on the inside. It gets us fiery. We're started. We're going. We're looking at anti-inflammatory foods and diets. But now we're in Taurus and the energy is fixed and it's grounded. So we're going to create some kind of emotional steady here. And I keep using the diet as just as a really good example this week, but you can apply that to whatever. If you've had an addiction with sugar and you're very, very inflamed, likely your body's highly inflamed. I know that was the case for me. And then you realize you've got to get on this anti-inflammatory diet. Well, all that Aries moon did for you is get you excited to find a solution, but it's a cardinal energy. It moved on. You're excited about something else now. Plus, you're confronting deeply whatever's going on. So you need someone who's actually going to go do the grocery shopping and prepare that food so that you can eat it. You cannot count on that Aries moon to do that. So this is where we celebrate the fixed earth energy of Taurus. And you say, okay, how do I ground my energy? What makes me feel safe and stable and like I can create something emotionally long lasting? So a great thing to do is, as you're confronting these changes this week and the moon moves into Taurus, is to first of all, just love on yourself. Pull your own creature comforts in. What do you need in your space, in your surroundings to feel comfortable, to feel loved, to feel like, you're strong and you can do this? But also, I want you to think about things that you can just do with your body. Because Taurus is very much so a body kind of energy, right? So what are you doing to make sure that your body is strong? Because when our bodies are strong, we feel the full capacity of that rise up in the rest of us as well. So where are you strength training? Where do you have consistency of how you eat? What are you doing in terms of your yoga practice? What are you doing that brings a strength and a steady into your body that also translates into this emotional space? So let me know what that looks like for you in the comment section down below. Okay, now after that, we're going to travel the whole day with that energy. So Venus out, let it just be a beautiful Venus day. But when we get to the 15th, we are going to see Mercury come into a sextile with Chiron. Now, Mercury, we're moving upstairs. And Mercury is the messenger, so he's sending us the message of these are some things I'm thinking about. Remember, Mercury is not in any form of pre, post, retrograde at all this month. So it's new information that is coming. It is revealing what is current in our thinking and how we communicate, in the stories we share, in information that we're receiving. So it's all current track, okay? Now, Mercury in a sextile, the pocket of opportunity that we can take action on, with Chiron in Aries, which is the wound to the identity, but it has been healed. We are regarding ourselves differently. I'm not just looking at myself as this broken, busted human being. I realize that, yes, I've had a challenge. I realize that, yes, I need to be doing something differently, but I also have capacity to do so. That's very much so that Chiron energy that we're working with right now. So one of the things I was thinking of under this sextile that is going to be really useful is we've got to take this alien solution over here, this something that is foreign to us to sit with, be with, apply to our lives. But because our identity has been healed a bit, we're like, yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't really understand it, but I'm willing to step forward to it because there is a willingness under this energy to be vulnerable as well. But you've got to be in the right grouping or the right relationship of the people, places, things, organizations that can help you and support you and hold you in that vulnerability because you're working with pain point energy, right? So who are you going to be around that you're going to be able to expose an old pattern of behavior, vulnerability, and accept guidance from if you don't feel safe? Right? If you just feel like this is too hard, they're just beating me down, I don't get down like that, right? The messaging needs to be correct. But furthermore, I think that this is also a great energy to just express it. Here is my problem. I'm having a problem with sugar. I don't have a great relationship with sugar. I am 75 pounds overweight. I am struggling with my children. I am struggling with my money. There is so much more awareness, but willingness to also say it out loud because there's this perception today with this energy that my weakness, my vulnerability doesn't make me trash. It makes me able to be teachable. That is fantastic energy because with Mercury in this conjunction, you can also be constructive about speaking it out and accepting a solution. And I don't know what any one of us could want more than that, than to be released from the pain points that are holding us back. Okay, later in the day, Mercury is also, love this. Mercury is going to come into a trine with the South Node, making it easy for us to see why our relationship to fill in the blank thing is not working, but a sextile to the North Node, which is the pocket of opportunity to take new action because this old way isn't working. So on Thursday, we've got this great opportunity to get focused in the direction we are attempting to grow because we really see that the old way wasn't working. Now, where you want to go for this is, first of all, go to the Libra section of your chart, whichever house that is in for you, and see where you're letting it go. My relationship, my old relationship to money, second house. My old relationship to groups and organizations, 11th house. My old relationship to debt, 8th house, right? Go see where the Libra area of your chart is at so you can see where you're easily able to let something go. And then look just across the street from that house to the Aries section of your chart to see exactly where you're moving to. If it's Libra in the second house, and I've got to get away from this relationship with how my creative talents brought me money or just my finances in general, and Aries North Node in the 8th house, I get to look at how do I trust other people? How do I trust collaboration of finances and shared resources, right? So you'll be able to check that out. Now, I've also got a cool resource for you. You can go to stormiegrace.com where I've got the free astrology encyclopedia, and you can see North Node in this house. What does that mean for you in your chart? And get a little breakdown, and it's absolutely free. So go and check it out. But as we experience this week in the cosmos, just keep in mind that this is absolutely a helper to you because it also will help you accelerate growth, right? Let's not stay, don't stay in the pain point for too long. Let's accelerate the growth by being willing to step out of your comfort zone, even intellectually, and move forward towards your solution. Okay, so that is going to guide and drive us all the way through Thursday. Now, Friday is busy. Kicking off first and foremost, let's look at our lunar family. We've got a first quarter moon happening at 27 degrees of Taurus. Now, at the first quarter, we planted our seeds of intention at the new moon of this lunar family. And so we started something at that time. Now, here at the first quarter, we're taking action, and the people, places, and things that do not align with that vibration are starting to fall out of our lives. And remember, they can be falling out of your life so fast that it just is blowing your little eyelashes back and you're like, what is going on? Truly, if you don't understand that that's what's happening, it can feel like a panic and you need to reach out and grab things. My wholesale encouragement to you is going to be keep your hands tucked in the boat, look future forward minded. Where are you going? And do not reach your hands out of that boat for the people, places, and things that are falling away, because it is the universe doing the heavy lifting for you. Let the universe do the heavy lifting. You have enough of your own footwork to do. Get out of that business, okay? Now, when we're talking about this lunar family, we want to go back to May 19th of 2023. This is where we had this new moon at 28 degrees of Taurus. You guys remember that? Do you remember that? I remember that. There was a lot of eclipse energy going on at that time. So you planted your seeds of intention to begin something new here. What was it? What were you calling into your life? You can also go to the Astrology Encyclopedia again at my website and see the new moon in different houses. And I also put some guiding questions for you to reflect on there, okay? So you planted your seeds of intention there. Now, here we are, February 16th of 2024, and we're at the first quarter. So what you called in last May, now it's ready for your action. You are in a readiness position to take action and to do what you need to move this thing forward. Now, again, we take action under the first quarter time, not fearlessly, right? You can be fearful, but here we drive in a little bit of steady courage. We're going to check back in on this moon, November 15th of 2024, because we're going to have the full moon happening at 24 degrees of Taurus. So now what you started last May of 23 started to come in. You took action here in February. Now you're going to culminate. You're going to say, okay, something needs to be ended, acknowledged, or I need to adjust the plan just a little bit. Maybe I need to pivot in order to get this thing going, finance, relationship, something like that, right? So you're going to bring it to a change at that time. And in August 16th of 2025 is where you're going to come to this last quarter time and you're going to put down the lesson base, the vision that you were working on at that time. It's going to be time to surrender surrender it and let the closure and completion come. So write these dates down so that as you're using and making your astrology real and you're entering into your fluency and the conversation, you can see exactly what your life has been talking about in the first place. How cool is that? I love that. I love lunar families. Now we're also going to then see we've got some void of course energy happening before Venus enters into the vibration of Aquarius, and we'll be here all the way until March 11th. Now, as Venus comes into the vibration of Aquarius, first of all, money, love, romance, all the things we're attracting to us, which is a Venusian energy. Venus attracts, she doesn't chase. When Venus is chasing, something is out of whack, okay? So Venus is attracting in, but what are you attracting in? Aquarius things. Your alien tribe. Your alien solutions. Right? Your vibe attracts your tribe. Tell the truth this week. Confront where you're stuck, because as soon as you say it, it's like the universe is sitting over here like, I'm ready. Just say it. Say the thing and I'll bring you help. But just, you got to say the thing. Tell me the thing. And as soon as you say it out loud and you make a decision, the universe is going to come running. And Venus and Aquarius, I think, is nothing more than this like hidden gem in understanding that. But also Venus in terms of like financial things, you can start attracting money from different groupings of people or in interesting or alien kind of ways. For many people, we're going to see people popping up left and right with these thumbnails on YouTube that are AI generated, because even if you have, a really popular YouTube channel, right? If your thumbnail is AI generated, the algorithm and the system will start to pull more things to it because it likes that AI. It can read it, it can understand it, as opposed to someone creating a regular thumbnail. So we're going to start to see this as Venus is in Aquarius, how much around us we start to see more of these AI animated energies really getting a lot of attention. Now, where this is also very good is that if you've been waiting to step out on the stage and share your message, your healing, your ministry that you've got to share with people, this is an attractive energy. So if you're telling the truth about who you are and how you can help people, you're also going to attract to you exactly who you can help. And in this way, it's really, really very useful. Last thing I just want to say here is that yes, Venus in Aquarius, the friend becomes the lover. It happens all of the time, especially, listen, if you're one of our people who has Venus in Aquarius in the 11th house, or in the 12th house. The friend can become the lover, or you've been going to the same gym forever. See, I have Venus in Aries. You've been going to the same gym forever, and then it just like happens. You're like, oh my God, it's you. Do you want to get coffee? And or sometimes in the 12th house zone, it's a little bit more behind the scenes. There can be a little bit more scandalous, or someone coming back from the past that used to be the friend, and now they are going to be the lover. So you let me know if that's you in the comment section down below. All right, then we're going to see the moon slide into the vibration of Gemini to take us through the weekend. So moon in Gemini energy, the moon is, we move into a conversational space. We want to talk about what's been going on. I want to talk about how I feel. I'm thinking about decisions. I'm journaling about decisions that I'm making, what's coming up, what's in my knowledge base and what's in my attention base. The other thing that I think the moon in Gemini is good for is for going, okay, I need to figure out what I want to learn and who I want to learn it from. And or I need to figure out what I teach, not what I teach, but who I teach it to. And we call that in business niching down, like who are the people you are uniquely built to serve and to help? And at the same time, who are the people that are uniquely built to serve and help you that you're going to be attracted to? So you may be talking it out. You may be looking through a lot of information. You may be getting new ideas, testing out, different YouTube channels or doctors or podcasts or something like that. And there's a lot of clarity that I think is actually very good about it. So let the networking, abound with this particular vibration, okay? Late in the day on Friday, heading into Saturday, we're going to see that Mercury is in a square to Uranus. So we've got our thinking and information planet squaring our electrical, bringing surprise kind of planet. Now, as these two are squaring against each other, the square creates an aspect of tension. So remember that you're in the box, you are here, and the square is squishing down, squishing down, squishing down, squishing down, squishing down, squishing down. So you have to take an action. You have to do something to get out of the box. Now, this is a challenging energy because again, it's an energy of confrontation. So I want to say to you, first of all, if you have had something that is like, I just keep thinking of the word obsession, right? If you just had this obsession with something, or you were like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should go here. I don't know if I should go here. What this energy can be, what this square can be really useful for is getting you off the fence. It gets you off the fence. It's like, no, Uranus won't have it. Uranus just will not have it. It's like, make a decision. Make a decision. And so sometimes the decision, if we won't make it, the universe is happy to make it for us. So I do want you to be mindful this day. Whenever I see something squaring Uranus, I'm mindful of what's happening with our little bodies, especially because Uranus is in Taurus. You know, are you walking along and you're indecisive in the middle of the street, and then you happen to be the one that steps off the curb and there goes the ankle, right? Something like that. So I want you to just be mindful of this energy, but it also could be really, really impactful for helping you just make a dang decision, because whatever you've been sitting on the fence is the hardest position to be in. It's the hardest position because you're not getting any kind of forward motion. You're just thinking. It becomes this mental masturbation. And what are you thinking about? Yourself. Right? You're not thinking about other people, because even if you're thinking about other people, it's usually about what they could be doing to make your life better in some way, shape, or form. Right? So we want to avoid that obsessive thinking, because left alone to the devices of obsessive thinking as well, we feel like we should take obsessive action, right? And we already know that the square is going to need us to take an action, but we take an action that really is disruptive to something else that could have been very, very pleasant. So I don't want to poo-poo. This can be a challenging aspect, and sometimes we need it. Sometimes you have to have a breakdown before you have a breakthrough. And sometimes you are the person who says the thing at the family event that you really thought was common knowledge, or it just comes out of your mouth, and then it gets the party going in a whole new direction. So I don't want to poo-poo it or anything like that, but it can just definitely bring some upset. So please be mindful. And if you have travel plans, I'm going to tell you, put on an extra cap of patience. Put on an extra cap of patience. Okay, as we are going to get here Saturday early in the day, bringing it in, I think this is the next really powerful aspect of confrontation that we've got this week. The enemy that is in plain sight. We've had Mars come into a conjunction with Pluto, and now we've got Venus in a conjunction with Pluto. So literally the things I've been calling to me, the things I've been attracting to me, and this is my doing. This is what I want you to keep in mind with this Aquarian area of your chart, right? What you've been peacocking or what you've been putting out in terms of a vibration is your doing. This is why this conjunction with Pluto is really clear for the pain point. It's like, if you don't like what you're getting, you're not going to think yourself into a better solution. Your vibe has to get different. Your being that you're putting this vibration out into the universe has got to get different if you want to attract to you something at a different level, something at a deeper, more intimate place to you. Do you really want to be in that long-term relationship? Is that what you're calling into your life? Well, what education are you doing about being in a long-term relationship? Being in a long-term relationship, being married, dating, they're just skills. But the world will have you believe that it's some fairy tale where they're going to come lift you up and scoop you off. And that works for about 2 years. And then after that, what are you going to do? But so what do you want? What is it that you really want when you scroll down into your desires and you figure out, oh, okay, I'm not getting what I want because my pain point is here, and you can attract the solution just as powerfully to you. Because remember, whatever Pluto is doing, it is powerfully trying to give you a reinvention, but it has to show you what is back behind the oven. You got to pull the oven out and clean back there. You know, you have to lift the microwave plate up and clean under it, the whole thing, get the top, okay? So we're really going to be looking at that. Now, the other challenge that I think is interesting and useful with this is because Venus and Pluto are come together, it can powerfully attract something to you really quickly and intensely. And so let's say that this is, you find out you've got a really big bill that you've got to pay and you're like, right? Because intense means intense. And you're not feeling prepared to do that. It brings up lots of fear for you. You have a conversation with someone and they just really get under your skin and it brings up all this fear for you. Somebody's using language in the world that, you know, they're trying to block what you're saying. Pluto in Aquarius is going to do a lot of censorship of language and you are having an intense experience. What you can do with it is go to your own subconscious. What is going on? What's happening here? You know, why are you having this deep response? Because the challenge is coming from within you, not from without you. They're just bringing you in the mirror that you've kind of called in. To the last side that I'll say about this on Saturday is you don't want to be, to the very conscious best of your ability, you don't want to be the person using manipulation, dishonesty, or any kind of subversive tactic to try to get where you want. And that sounds really cute when we say it. You know, it's like, yeah, don't lie, don't steal. But how are you treating your partners? You know, what's the power dynamic that you've got going there? Are you using body language to get your partner to do something that you want or to stop doing something that you want? How are you treating your children? How are you showing up in your workplace? You know, are you coming into the workplace and you get there and everybody's like, dang, they're here. You know, like what is going on in these other places where we're using manipulation to get what we want? So this may be something else that is in your face for you to consider. And just as equally, you can consider how you use your power beautifully, because you do have power. You're a powerful being. So if you're using it for the good, I think you're going to have some really cool experiences. Now, as we get to Sunday, we're going to go throughout the day, and then we will see the moon late in the day heading into Monday morning, rock into the vibration of Cancer, and we are also going to see the sun move into the vibration of Pisces. So you did it. You made it. Welcome to another year. Beautiful Pisces friends. Happy, happy birthday. Your solar year starts now. I'm excited to see what you want to build for yourself. If you Pisces have not already gotten your solar return chart, you want to click in my description box down below and get it and see what the theme for your actual birthday year holds, because it's very different than what's going on in the general, and you want to know your own cosmic story so that you can make the best of it, right? You get 1 year cast of characters who can really help you develop, so you want to know who is on your squad, okay? All right, my beautiful friends, I love you a lot. Please click into the description box down below for those timestamps so that you can just go to the day that you're looking for. Also, make sure you check out the Pluto playlist, because it was created just for you to really get into this Pluto vibration and take it into your own chart. If you are ready to speak the language of astrology and increase your fluency, I would love to see you in the Knowledge to Fluency class coming up March 6th. Everything's in the description box down below for you. I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.